Good evening, my dear YouTube viewers. Today also we will continue the schedule information and we will switch over to the kinds of questions. So, how many varieties of the questions shall we ask the respondent? So, a schedule contains various kinds of questions. The different types of questions are framed by the social scientist in order to elicit different types of informations on various aspects of the problem. Following are the main types of questions used in this problem. Roughly, these are 7 varieties. Structured questions, that is perfectly designed. These are the most simple of all types of questions. A structured question is that in which the possible alternative replies can be predetermined and these are noted against the question. The respondent chooses one of these alternatives that suits him and the interviewer either encircles or make rounds all alternatives or crosses out of all those that are inapplicable. Following examples will help to understand the structured form of questions. Number 1. The research worker asked about the marital status. Are you married, unmarried, widower, widow, divorced or separated? Separated is nothing but the desertion. Second question. What is your economic status? Low income group, low, that is the BPL, below poverty line, lower middle class, rich people, very rich people. These will come under the structured questions. Then open-ended questions. The answers are not within a limited, it is the unlimited answers. In these questions, the respondents are given no alternative answers. They have to make replies on their own after due thinking. We will give some amount of time to think and answer to this. Following may be the examples. Let us start. Number 1. What is your attitude towards the causes of communalism in Indian context? Second, how can the virus of communalism be removed in your opinion? The third question is, what measures would you suggest for national integration? So individual opinions are differ. So we are going to accept what type of answer they want to give it for us. Third question is dichotomous question. Di stands for two. There are the questions which admit of two alternatives, a positive answer, a negative answer. Examples. Are you employed? Yes or no. Are you educated? Are you literate? Yes or no. Do you think present government is socialistic? Yes or no. Do you think India will break up the like Pakistan? Yes or no. So either you may give the positive answer place as or the negative answer no. Next, multiple choice questions. In these questions, various alternatives are given. That is, number of choices are there. You should select one out of them. The respondent has to choose one of these. Example, which profession do you like the most? Maybe agriculture, government services, professional services like the engineering, medicine and law, and teaching, and business and commerce, journalism or any other. So it differs from person to person. So once again, we will recap the information. Kinds of questions. A schedule contains various kinds of questions. The different types of questions are framed by the social scientist in order to elicit different types of informations on various aspects of problems. Following are the main types of questions used in the schedules. There are the, for the today we will cover the 4 types: structured questions, open-ended questions, dichotomous questions and multiple choice questions. Under structured questions, these are most simple method of all types of questions. A structured question is that in which the possible alternative replies can be predetermined and these are noted against the question within the brackets. The respondent chooses any one of these alternatives that suits him, and the interviewer either encircles or make the bracket round. Alternatives are crossed out of all those that are inapplicable. So, following examples may help to understand the structured questions. Example: if you want to understand the marital status of the respondent, either the male or the female, so married, unmarried or never married, widower, widow, loss of the spouses, and the separated and divorced. For the separate, we can use the word desertion also. The second question is about the economic status, whether you belong to the BPL, that is the below poverty line, or APL, above the poverty line, lower middle class, upper middle class, rich or very rich. Like this we will segregate it. Answers. These will come under the structured questions. What about the open-ended questions? Here there is no limitation, whereas structured questions limits are there, and open-ended questions are unlimited. Answers. In these questions, the respondents are given no alternative answers. They have to make replies on their own after due thinking. After asking the question, we should give some amount of time for the respondent to think and answer them. Following are the examples to understand the question. What is your attitude towards the causes of communalism in India? Second, how can the virus of communalism can be removed in your opinion? Give the measures or suggestions for the national integration. It differs from the literate to the illiterate or semi-literate persons. Then third varieties of the question is dichotomous questions. Di means stands for two. The answers may be positive or negative. That may be yes or no. The questions are like this. Are you employed? Yes or no. Do you think present government is socialistic? Yes or no. Or do you think India will break up like the Pakistan? Yes or no. Like this we can answer them. The fourth variety is multiple choice questions. Here the answers are not limited or unlimited, but according to your interest you are going to say. They had given the few. Agriculture, unorganized sector. Organized sector like government services, professional occupations like engineering, medicine and law, and the private interest, business and commerce, and the teaching. If you want to understand the problems, you can select the journalism in order to understand and inform to the government. So, or any other, or any two also, sometimes we will select it. By this, today's lecture is completed. This is Bindu taking leave from the YouTube platform.